Today I'm here with one of our tournament winners. Who are you?
My name is Tristan Klein, and I went 5-0 in our 28-person club tournament for Highlander Duelists at UCR. My deck I used was Blackwings.
Right, let's get right to deck profile then.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice map, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. They kind of suck though. So let's get on with the Blackwings, the real winged beasts. So first you're gonna start off with 3 Simoon. You see, Simoon is like the whole star. You get one of this and a different name Blackwing, and you've got your entire combo. Sudri is going to be the card you mainly search off of Simoon, as Simoon will put down a black whirlwind, and then you summon Simoon, searching Sudri, and then using black Sudri's effect to search, with black whirlwind of course, to search your copies of Vada, which you're going to be running 3 of, as well as your copies of Shamal. So Vada is able to synchro summon into Blackwing Dragon, and Shamal you can dump in from your hand to the graveyard to set a Black Feather Whirlwind, which isn't Black Whirlwind, but instead Black Feather Whirlwind. We'll get to that. The one-ofs you want to use is Chinook. Obviously, this is a great interruption negate for opponent's turn. Not only are you able to dump your graveyard for plays later, but you'll be able to negate and subtract 700 attack points from an opponent's monster. Gale, it's a pretty good card. I wouldn't say it's the best. In fact, it's probably the card I replaced the quickest. I just didn't have the time to do so. It can make your 7s. It'll be able to have an attack once if you have to just get over something. Overall, it's another card that you can just get out that can extend your plays. Zephyros the Elite, this card is fantastic. Vada will dump cards equaling itself, as well as 2 other cards that will equal a Blackwing Dragon. So you want to dump Zephyros and sometimes Chinook, or you want to dump Harmadden. Zephyros will be able to bounce back your Black Feather Whirlwind, and you get to play it again. Steam the Cloak for just bringing back if you want to dump that off of just any card that will just get rid of something. Orochi to make Hot Red, and Vayu to use with Boral Storm, which you'll see later, to make a level 6. So this is just mostly the Blackwing core. You're gonna always want to get at least like a Simoon or a Sudri, but if you get like Shamal Vada or Shamal Chinook Vada or something like that, like you'll be fine. Shamal Sudri, you'll be perfectly fine. So let's get these out of the way real quick. Next up, tier hate. I mean, in this meta, we don't have a choice but to run some of the best graveyard negation in the game. Okay, not these 2, but again, these 2 will come up later. I'll actually bring them up later. But the Bestials are fantastic. Not only do they get rid of tier combo, they can get rid of light and dark in the graveyard, but they're able to extend plays for the Blackwings. Suppose you have Shamal and a Bestial in hand, and that's it. That's pretty bad, but if you can get both of them out, you'll be able to go into a Full Armor Master, you can get into a Blackwing Assault Dragon. That's just a Synchro 10 right there, and it could be a good wall to get through the next turn. So let me just remove these real quick. The next 3 cards are, Ash Blossom. Every deck needs it. Again, in this age, you need to stop adding Sanity to the Graveyard, all that kind of stuff, because of just how much it impacts the playfield. So naturally, we have to run our 3 copies of Black Whirlwind. And Black Whirlwind is just such a good card. It gets you to search almost all of your Blackwings if you have the right summon. It gets to extend your hand size. In fact, with the right hand, you can actually have more cards in your hand at the end of the turn than you did at the start. Really, really fun. Black Feather Whirlwind, this card is nuts. Unbelievable. So basically you synchro, and then you bring back one of the cards you synchroed with, or you just a normal Blackwing in your graveyard. And it also helps with protection, because if you have a black feather counter, you can remove one to negate the destruction of your cards, which is super good when it comes to your boss monster, Blackwing Assault Dragon, because when you have 2 on board, you just subtract the 4 counters to wipe the field, and then you subtract another one from another Blackwing Assault, and all of your dark monsters are fine. Really nice. 3 Small World to get out, your main starter pieces. You're going to want to search off of any Blackwing, right? So suppose it's I hate Steam the Cloak, getting that into the hand. So suppose you get Steam the Cloak, activate Small World, reveal Steams. You can either reveal Skullmeister or Magnamut to add Sudri and Simoon, and these are your lines. Most of the time you want to have Simoon, because if you have another Blackwing in your hand, you're just gonna go full combo. But Sudri is also a fine pick if you don't have that, have another Blackwing, which happens sometimes. So 3 Forbidden Droplet. I forgot about the other one at home. Had to borrow one, and I mean, what can I say about Forbidden Droplet? It just completely smashes boards. It's great. I love it. And if you get to be able to send off of Steam and stuff like that, crazy. It should be 2 triple tactics, but again, I was not ready to really go into the deck. I didn't think triple tactics was too necessary, but I have one, and it didn't really come up. So, yeah. Call by the Grave to protect from ashes, and of course, finally, probably the two best cards in the deck. This allows you to synchro on your opponent's turn. If you have 2 Blackwings, you can synchro on your turn, and it can synchro into any Blackwing monster, right? Blackwing monster, synchro monster. It just depends on whatever you have in your grave or banish, and because it doesn't target, you can't really get interrupted with it. The best part is that it shuffles instead of banishes or sends to the graveyard. It's great. It's really, really good. You want to combo that with something like Silverwind, where it will just pop 2. And then you also have Destruction and Protection. Fantastic card. I love it. It's great. So next we have the Synchro monsters. And the Synchro monsters are a bit strange. Sahaya for the Vayu Link. And Sahaya does not get that much representation in the deck. It's so difficult to bring it out other than Vayu. So I'm going to put this away. Not much to say about it. Nothung, Whirlstorm, and of course 2 copies of Whirlstorm. These cards are probably the best synchros in the deck, other than Blackwing Assault Dragon, because Nothung gives you another normal summon. So you chain that with Shamal to add back Sudri, normal summon Sudri, get your effect again, add Twin Shadow. It's great. It also burns for time. Fantastic. This card is great. You always want to run it. You always want to get it out, and if it's interrupted, that's pretty messed up, man. 2 Whirlstorms. This card gets you into Blackwing Assault Dragon, and it also dumps it sends a card, and that could be like Shamal, that could be Vayu, that can be Steam the Cloak, and it'll subtract, or sometimes even add, to that level, right? Most of the time it's not add, though. I don't think there's a Blackwing that's higher than 6. But Whirlstorm also does something very interesting. If you combine it with Sahaya, so you send Vayu, then you get it out with a Sudri or who cares, like a Zephyros and a Vayu. You summon Sahaya. You just put these 2 together, and you get Nothung. Nothung add back, Nothung burn, Nothung normal summon the card again. It's crazy. I love it. It's great. Next few cards is Chidori, Obsidian Hawkjoe, and actually I'm going to keep it with that for now. These 2 cards don't get that much more play. Again, it's very difficult to get a 3 out with Gale, because you only have 1 of those. But Chidori gets over towers. And Seahawk Joe extends. So not that bad. The only weird part about Seahawk Joe is that's a warrior. So if you wanted to like make Wystrix, it wouldn't work. A really weird card. Chidori's great. Seahawk Joe can be better, but it's not bad. Next cards are the level 8s. Silverwind, already understand how that goes, and 2 Blackwing dragons to get into your Blackwing Assault Dragon. Or you could also burn them for game. So you got, let's see here, you got 2 options to burn. And, 2 options to burn. So if the one's interrupted, the other one will. Great cards for time, but also fantastic cards just to make Assault Dragon, which is your main play. And I recommend only running 2, because 3, it gets way too messy. And a Boreal Savage for the next turn. It's difficult to get rid of your Link Monster, because there's only really one card that can do it on first turn, but it locks you into Synchro Summons. You're not able to do the effect if you have not Synchro Summons, so not a good option on turn 1. So Savage Dragon, it's great. I just wish it was easier to summon out. I think you should run Berserker the Tenny instead sometimes, but the store was not selling it at the time, which is unfortunate. Hot Red, which is great because you can make it off of Blackwing Dragon and, of course, Orochi, my beloved. If I can find it. Orochi, my beloved. And this card lets you dodge Dark Ruler, actually, because most likely you'll have a Twin Shadow. So suppose you get Dark Rulered. You would chain Twin Shadow, and then chain Hot Red to negate the on-field Dark Ruler. It also summons back a tuner if it does damage, and it's a negate. And negates are good. You know, not much else to say about it. Big body as well. Big body. And now the level 10s. 2 Blackwing Assault Dragons. Burning for 14 is probably enough to win you games, especially in combo decks. Combo decks cannot get through this. They'll just gonna burn, and then if they get too far ahead, you just say, I wiped the field. Good game, very fun. And then there's Full Armor Master for Plan B. And what I like to do is big chain, you know, everything's kind of about to resolve, and you're just like, Twin Shadow for Full Armor Master, and now every single one of those has wedge counters. And once they have wedge counters, you can either destroy them or take them on your side. In fact, that is almost how I won the 3rd match of my the 5-0, where I just took the Axis Code Talker, and although it wasn't enough for game just by themselves, it did win in the end. Finally, Wystrix. Wystrix, Extended. Great option for if you need just that one more level 4 on field. This card's under a little bit of contention because in the end, you can use this plus Shade Brigand, put in a Phantom Knight engine, and you can start Kali Yugaing people. But I don't think that's really necessary. Like, you have enough gas to really deal a lot of damage with just Blackwings alone. I think the Phantom Knight core just makes it a little bit more bricky. Like, you don't want to draw like Silent Boots, the rank up, all that kind of jazz. I think Wystrix alone just allows for a lot more play and less problem cards. And especially if it's the next turn, you can make Boreal Savage off of it. So, let's get into the side deck, which I was completely underprepared for. And it's going to be really messy looking at these one-ofs. So, I was going to have 3 evenly matched by the end of this. But again, the card shop did not have any. So I had to walk in with 1 evenly matched, 1 anti-spell for Runic, Change of Heart, because I thought it was funny, and Necro Valley for the tier matchup, but I only had 1 Necro Valley that I found in my bulk. Really cool. I would have probably gone Swamped if I went against tier. Our locals is a lot more casual. Not many of us run meta, so I wanted to bring in a fun deck for this, and I think Blackwings really tore it apart. Unfortunately, the person who got like third place played against all of the meta decks and then got swamped. Apologies, man. So next you have the board breakers, Regeki, Lightning Storm, and then I don't know if this is really that board breaky, but 3 nibs. It just gets rid of the board. It gets rid of the back row. All of them are great cards going against combo decks because, unfortunately, Blackwings don't run that many hand traps. So if you're going against someone who's using like Tri-Brigade, you're gonna have a problem because the Bestials aren't enough, and Skullmeister just doesn't like stop it. It's much better when it goes against sometimes tier, I guess. But again, I wouldn't know yet. And finally, the problem cards for Blackwings is back row. Of all the Blackwing cards, almost none of them can get rid of back row. And again, let's just put Lightning Storm here as well. These are just cards you need if you're going against the trap mix-up, and unfortunately I did. And luckily, these cards came in clutch. I was able to get rid of a lot of his problem cards. That was Dynamorphia, by the way, if you're wondering. Final thing, just to put it out there, Jewish Worm, Magnamut. I mean, tier hate. And that's about does it. Personally, I find this deck so interesting. I love it. I think it's great. I think of all the cards, these are my favorites. I really, really love how these boss monsters work. They don't feel like the normal negate. They don't feel like the normal towers. They feel so more, quote-unquote, interactive. And it feels fun. I think this deck is great. I think it's fun. It's a blast to play, and it was a blast to win with. Should I go into the combo?
Okay, we're here with the combos.
Oh yeah, man, I love the combos in this deck. They're really, really interesting. Unless you get, hand looped for 3 and you just end up with these 2 cards. But guess what? That's all you need. So, first of all, you activate the effect of Simoon. Simoon allows you to set a Black Whirlwind from deck onto the field. So, you get Black Whirlwind out, but you have to banish 1 Blackwing. So this is now gone. Who cares? So, Black Whirlwind, Simoon. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm playing this completely upside down. So, effect the Black Whirlwind to search out the best normal summon, Sudri. Summon Sudri. Effect Sudri, you want to do Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 Black Whirlwind, because this effect is a lot more important than Black Whirlwind's effect, as both the cards you're adding do label Black Winged. However, Black Whirlwind won't be able to search you Shamal. So suppose you have a Vada in hand, you'll still be able to search your Shamal. And that's just Ash Protection. So Sudri allows you to search a Black Wing card, and Black Whirlwind searches a card that has less attack. So you're searching Vada off of Black Whirlwind, and Shamal after Sudri. Get those in your hand, you're going to take these, and you're going to send Shamal to the grave. So it's going to go over here, and you're going to go into your deck and set a Black Feather Whirlwind. Next, special summon Vada and use its effect to mill or dump Zephyros, the Elite, and Chinook. And then also send itself, of course, as cost, to summon Blackwing Dragon. Then you activate the effect of Black Whirlwind, summon Vada, and then get Nibiru'd. Oops, GG. But really, we're going to keep on going, because we're just hoping they don't have Nip. Then, you want to use the effect of Zephyros in your graveyard. Bring back Black Feather Whirlwind, summon the Zephyros, don't take the damage because then you get a Black Wing counter on it, activate Black Whirlwind again. After that, you're going to use Vada and Sudri to Synchro for 6. I'm going to put the graveyard right here just so you guys can see it. To summon Nothung. Effect. So this is the weird part. You're going to chain link Nothung, Black Feather Whirlwind, and Shamal all at once, right? So chain link 1, 2, 3. So Shamal banishes, adds back Sudri, right? Black Feather Whirlwind will bring back Vada, and now you can normal summon again, and you also get your opponent gets burned for 700, of course. So normal summon Sudri, chain link 1, 2, adding Orochi and Twin Shadow. Orochi off of Black Whirlwind, Sudri, Twin Shadow off of Sudri. So with this board, you now want to make with a 2 and a 4. Where are you? Boral Storm. You're going to use the effect of Boral Storm to send a copy of Shamal to grave. That will be another add if you need it. And Boral Storm will also go down to level 4. You're going to go with 10 for wrong deck. 1 copy of your Blackwing Assault Dragon. Then you're going to special summon Orochi. I mean, you could have done this before, but we're going to do it now. You're going to use, for 9, you're going to summon Hot Red Archfiend Abyss. Then you are going to banish your 2 copies of Blackwing Dragon and Boral Storm from your graveyard to synchro summon into Blackwing Assault Dragon, because it has the effect where if you can banish a Synchro Tuner and a Blackwing Dragon, you can summon it from the extra deck. Actually insane. Now you have Twin Shadow in hand, so on the opponent's turn, if you think things are getting pretty bad, you can activate Twin Shadow. You get special summon Silverwind, pop 2 of their cards, hopefully, and then you're going to chain link Shamal to add back Chinook. And you'll be able to use Chinook because you control a dark synchro monster. And Chinook is, of course, the negate, send 1 card. In a perfect world, you would be able to do a lot more. But we're only going to be doing a 2-card combo for this. And this is kind of your board. This in hand, engrave, both of these engrave to add back, and naturally Silverwind to get rid of 2 monsters. Next turn, if this gets, I wouldn't say messed up, but maybe nothing really happens, you will have the extra normal summon with No Thumb. You will have the Sudri to make something into a token. And most likely, you'll have... almost forgot, this gets destroyed at the end of the phase. You'll have Black Feather Whirlwind to add resummon 1 of your many graveyard Blackwings. And that is it. There are a lot of different things you can do. Sudri especially opens up a lot of options. So if you open up with a Sudri plus, say, I don't know, Shamal maybe? You can use the effect of Shamal to get rid of it. You can add a Vada, summon Vada, activate it, make Black Feather Dragon, use Sudri, get rid of that, use Vada, use Black Feather Woman. You have so many options with just a Sudri that this card is insane. And if you have 2 Blackwings and you have a Simoon, you have your full combo. And that's it.
Alright, let's finish up with some matchups.
Well, I mean, you see, Brandon, I had some of the most scuffed matchups I think I've ever seen in my life. We are in a tier sprite format, right? And my first match was Goaty. My second match was Flu, which makes sense. My third matchup was Dragon Maid Bestials. My fourth match was Dino Morphia. And my final matchup was Bird Up, or Leerlusk Tri-Brigade. So with the Goaty one, he did hit me with D-Shifter, and that was one of the most interesting parts. Luckily, I had Twin Shadow, which lets me synchro from Banish and Grave, along with just this disgusting combination of like Sudri, Simoon, maybe a Black Whirlwind to put in there, as well as Vada. And strangely enough, he ended with a Kraken pass. And I'm just assuming that was just bad hand, it happens. But I was able to get through a lot of his interruptions. So, not that bad. One of the most important cards in this deck that I didn't realize while in that tournament was actually Chinook. Chinook is crazy. Even if you have it just like in your hand, not only does it set up your Blackwing Assault Dragon for later when you want to special summon it with just banishing its materials. So you just send a Boral Storm or a Blackwing Dragon that you need. This card just negates a monster. Maybe they'll have to use a negate to get rid of it. Maybe they'll have to just lose a card because of it. It comes up so often, and it's fantastic. The flu game, you're probably wondering how I beat that. Game 1, I swamped him with just hella combo. Simoon, Sutri, I had I think I had 2 Twin Shadows actually, so that was crazy. Game 2, I got actually bodied. Actually, I think it's swapped around. Game 1, I got bodied. I thought I had a lot of time. I thought I had more cards I could draw. Game 2, I swamped him. And then Game 3, I won in time because he Solemn Judgment in me, and I burned him for a lot of damage. He had 100 life points left. I attacked him with a Simoon, and unbelievably, we've never thought this was going to come up. Gale and Simoon attacked him for 100 life points left. And then he died because I flipped Twin Shadow and he couldn't get over it. A Full Armor Master. Not Full Armor Master. Yeah, Full Armor Master. Oof. Game 3 was Dragon Maid Bestials, and I went first on that game. I thought I was going to be fine. I started comboing. He stopped me like a mother. And I then got... No Dragon Maids were used in this duel. It was like only Bestial beatdown. It was 25, 25, 25, 3,000. And I was like, man, why did they print these cards? It is just stronger DD Crow. It gets rid of one, I think, if there's 6, it's 1/3 of the attributes. I don't think it's actually 1/3, but 2 of the many attributes and 2 of the best ones, in my opinion. Game 4 was Dynamorphia. The first game ended pretty quickly. Again, I went through big combo. I got through. I ashed his Frenzy. There was not much he could do. Game 2, he uses Red Ice Fusion, and unfortunately, this deck kind of struggles against big towers other than, Chidori. Chidori can gain 300 for each Blackwing you have, and I probably had a lot, but it was too late. He was just destroying me. I could do nothing about it. Game 3, I had a set of a Chamal and pass. I had such a bad hand. Both those last 2 games I had a terrible hand. I could not get rid of the Red Ice Fusion. I couldn't ask the Red Ice Fusion. I couldn't negate the what's his stupid name? The Red Eyes Dragoon. I ended up figuring out Chidori would work with this, or I burned him for a game with Blackwing Dragon. Turns out I couldn't have done that. So thank God I didn't, because he ended up Nibiruing his own Dragoon, and I just beat over it with a Blackwing Assault Dragon and a Full Armor Master. Game 5 was probably the hardest fought victory. It was against the Tri-Brigade and Duelists player. Shout out to Songar, who was playing it, the DDD player who made a video on the channel. Fun fact, he made this deck. So no matter what, he was going to get a deck list, one of his deck lists on the channel again. But I messed up big time. Game 1, I won because I think he drew pretty poorly, but I stopped him pretty early on in the combo, and I had just 2 Blackwing Assault Dragons. I don't think it was going to be enough. He, Tri-Brigade combos so much with monster effects, it was going to be a wash anyways. Game 2, I got folded. I sideboarded all of my good cards, all of these Nibirus, all of these just Twin Shadows, all these Lightning Storms, Change of Heart, all these good cards that I could probably get rid of his board, and then he makes me go first. And I draw like a Nibiru, a Lightning Storm, a Twin Shadow, and maybe like Vayu. I was like, man, a Songar surprise of just winning, siding, and then they're telling you go first again. Unbelievable. Game 3, I put up my board, and he ends up Ragekiing my board. Sorry, first he Lightning Storm on my back row, then Rageki's, and that was the choice I had to make. I was like, I could use the Twin Shadow now. And I don't think I have a choice, because I didn't have the Hot Red negate, which is so dumb of me that I forgot to put that out there. I summoned Full Armor Master, and I realized, there's only one card in his deck that can get over it, and that was Access Code Talker. And with my Chinook in hand, I had to wait until he summoned Access Code Talker. Wait until he summoned the Access Code Talker, and I had to negate it on resolution of his effect. So that ended up beating him because he messed up. He could have summoned Appaloosa first, but for tunnel visioned onto Access Code Talker, which ended up costing him the game. God, let's see here. I think that's it, really. I'd love to say that this deck could compete with the meta right now, but I have not been able to test it against meta decks. I've played against a few sprites. I have won against a few sprites. I still haven't played against a tier deck, which is really strange. But I think I'm going to take this locals. I think I'll see if I either get folded or I win a few games but still get folded. Shout out to Songar for making this deck. Really, really fantastic. Great job. I think this is one of your best decks ever. Shout out to Peyton for being a real one. Hey, you never answered my calls. Really disappointed on that one. And shout out to Highlander Duelists for being really sick and really awesome and just being the best you see. Thank you for watching this deck profile and combo list. I think it was really, really fun. I think this deck is really great. If you really want to go against meta, I say put more Bestials in there, maybe some DD Crows, but so far, it's great. Smile.